pretty home needs more than just pretty things. Sometimes you've got to tear down a wall or put up a staircase. Now, one man who knows the most about that is one of India's most celebrated architects, Hafiz Contractor. Hafiz, you have a sprawling house here, more than 10 rooms. What are some of the things that you like about your place here?
As an architect and an interior designer, I also design houses. And we always, whenever you design a house, it's very easy to carry one style. Because when you have a one style, whether you're a little here or there, you carry it off. But I don't like houses with one style, because it gets a little bit overpowering and it gets repetitive after some time.
Oh, really? So what do you have in your place? How do you match that?
As it has grown, it's little knick-knack. This sofa doesn't match with this one, and this door doesn't match with the doors down below.
Mm-hmm.
But
they do complement each other.
Yes, and that in fact gives it a much better touch as a house.
Now, Hafiz, talking about the greenery, you've almost invited that greenery into your house. Big windows, you love your balcony, don't you?
Yeah. You can stand there and you feel the trees are coming, the canopies are coming right at the height of my balcony parapet, and I think it's a good feel.
Now, Hafiz, when it comes to structural changes in your house, you have a second floor and a third floor apartment. How did you go about doing that?
One has to know what your structure is, whether it's a load-bearing structure, whether it's a frame structure. In a frame structure, you can break your walls, make rooms bigger, much more easy way, provided you don't touch any columns or the structural elements. Yeah, the beams and the columns. When you have a load-bearing structure, you can't break any walls. The best thing is for anybody, whoever is doing a house or for anyone, he has to take help of a structural engineer.
And in terms of walls too, I've noticed, like for example this wall right here, you've not broken down the whole wall, you've kept it almost like a partition between that sitting area and this one here.
Because there were two small columns, and we did not want those two small columns, because this was supposed to be a two-bedroom house and that was supposed to be a kitchen. So when we broke all the walls, we found that there were two columns and those were not looking nice. So we made a baffle wall and had a painting on top of it.
You have a lot of light pouring into your house and you have a lot of mirrors. Now, is that something that you particularly like?
Mirror is one element which definitely gives a lot of depth and makes all your rooms look much more wider.
That optical illusion.
Yeah, and also today there is this thing about Vastu.
Oh, of course, Vastu.
Let me be very frank. I do believe in Vastu a little bit when it comes to private homes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are advised that, if you have a mirror on this side, because this is your north side, so you can have a mirror on a roof on a north side but not on a south side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit to do with architecture, a little bit to do with aesthetics, a little bit to make your rooms bigger, and a little bit to do with Vastu. So it's a little of everything, and it makes a nice compromise and a happy house.
Can you give me a few examples of Vastu in your home?
Yeah, my study on the southwest, my master bedroom on the southwest, the kitchen. Since it's a flat, I can't have 100% Vastu compliant, but we tried and make it do the best what we can.
Hafiz Contractor, I know you're a very private person. Thank you so much for having us in your home.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aditi Govitrikar. Well, I've lived in this house for 3 years, and for last 3 years we've had white walls. So I said, let me just have a splash of color. Well, it's going to be a huge surprise for my husband, because now suddenly I'm going with the concept of completely changing the whole color scheme. So keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that it looks as fabulous as I think it is going to look.
Aditi is really passionate about the color white and she's thinking of letting go, but I really wonder, because you're here again in white. Why the color white?
I've always liked white. In fact, in the evenings also when I go out, I tend to wear white a lot of times.
And you're ready for a change now?
Maybe a bit, not too much. I don't think I want to change it completely, because I quite like the feel of, my walls being white.
Now, to help Aditi let go of this white fetish almost, we have Suma here, who's our color expert from Nerolac. So Suma, what would you suggest? Stay with white, with another color? What would you say?
I'm not surprised that she prefers white, because she's a doctor and white symbolizes clinical precision. So white is a very natural choice for
and
doctors.
And her husband too is a doctor, right?
Yes, her husband's also a doctor. So, but Aditi, what I'd like to bring in are a few greens and beiges, because you have a lot of greenery and nature around the house, So why don't we bring in a few olive greens, fresh greens and beiges into the house?
A small whisper.
My God,
okay.
That's like that. I don't know what to say. I'll have to think about it, because I've never really given greens or olives thought. Even the rest of my house, there's no green besides the plants that I have.
Let me show you some greens that are available with Nerolac.
Okay.
This is the Impressions Decor Guide from Nerolac Paints.
Okay.
So if we go to the greens section over here, so there are a lot of lovely greens out here.
They're quite bright too.
They're quite bright also. But we are trying to bring in color into our home.
Talking about doctors, what about the hospital green?
Not in the house, thank you very much. We'll keep it in the hospitals, let my husband wear the greens and operate on patients, not in my house.
What I would like to recommend, Aditi, is this kind of a look, because you have brown furniture in your dining space. So why don't we go in with an olive green combination in the dining area and continue that into the living space with beige.
I like the photograph, but if it doesn't translate, then what do I do? Will it translate? Will it look
It will definitely translate, because you have lovely furniture to complement this color.
It will look the same.
Yes, and if it doesn't work out, we'll change it back to white.
Oh wow, that's a deal, right? I mean, you can
but my
have nothing to lose.
My husband's not in town, so I mean, it's...
Let's surprise him.
Yeah, that sounds good. Also, I keep giving him surprises, and he's always kind of, does a cartwheel whenever I've given him a surprise.
So we'll look at two shades actually. We'll look at olive green and we will look at beige, and the alcoves will fill them up with a combination of green and beige.
All right.
I think it'll look nice.
So are we convinced?
I think once I see it, then I'll be 100% sure, but yeah, 90% I'm there.
So no more white for Aditi?
Well, not on my living room walls.
Yeah, but you know what? You can always wear white and then sit in your living room once the colors change.
Like a wallflower.
Absolutely, why not? So let's bring the painters in.
Sure. Well, this is it. This is the moment of truth, and I think it's looking fabulous. When I started off, I wasn't so sure whether it's going to be this nice or not, but everybody around me just convinced me that okay, now enough of white, just go with colors, and well, I'm loving it right now. But yeah, I'm a little apprehensive, as in I hope the workers finish the work and go, because my husband's expected any time and he's going to walk in, and I want the place to look as it was when he left, except with new colors. I don't want them to be hanging around here. So I'm just hoping that they finish it off soon and just go away.
Makeover's all done. We're putting the final touches to your house, Aditi. No more electric blue.
No blue.
Green.
Yeah, all
Little
green.
nervous.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
And my husband's expected in like 10 minutes.
You just spoke to him?
I did.
Did you say anything?
Nothing at all.
That's great, because in the meanwhile, what we're going to do is hop across to interior designer Nisha JamVwal's place, and she's going to tell us how to do up your home.
Hi, I'm Nisha JamVwal. I'm an interior architect. I actually design a home from start to finish, and I discourage clients from cluttering up a space with dead wood. And by dead wood I mean, marriage, things you've received in your wedding, things you've received over birthdays. One keeps putting things all over the house, I mean, for instance, you see an empty credenza here. Normally it would be full of old clocks, Yadro porcelain, Royal Doulton. I think crystal and cutlery and, basically belong as salad bowls or in the kitchen. Not in a living room. And living room is a space where in my interior, the walls, the floors, the lighting is the focal point. My lighting is very subtle, so that you see, you see light coming through a wall. Now that's a shelf, and you actually see lighting coming through here. Or you see lighting on the bar from underneath the onyx. That to me is an embellishment. And maybe, one odd giraffe from Kenya, one vase, not a profusion of clutter. And an interesting thing that I do in every single site is I leave a signature of mine. One of my signatures is the California kitchen, the open kitchen. It's nice to have an interactive kitchen. It also makes a space look bigger. So I've actually eliminated walls here. You see one huge space going from the kitchen to the living room and into the bar. I don't like to break a space with walls. I'm more into breaking a space by creating zones, creating ceilings also. Ceiling levels actually go with the space changes. So that you actually see this arch here. And you see this area forming the bar. Here you see a space actually multitasking. There's an entertainment area as well as a lounging area. And there are beautiful screens that cordon off the space. This window seat actually multiplies into a double bed. That's a double bed here. It's about optimum use of space where every square foot counts. And another interesting point is my screens. I don't do doors. I do screens that actually, they disappear into the wall. The mark of a home is the bathroom. So bathrooms are very detailedly done. One of the most important spaces in the home is the foyer, the entry. this door was nearly the first thing that I did and inspired the whole house. So the theme of the house is based on those teals, on those golds, on those silvers that you see on the door. And then I've done this gold dome. So it's a visual enhancer. It's like, you know, creating height visually. It's a little trick that we interior architects incorporate into spaces. This bench was also designed by me. It's you know, for people who come visiting and or maybe even service people, you know, people who come to collect bills maybe. And it's a small foyer, but the illusion of space is interesting. And again, you see the space going into the kitchen. So when you see the visual difference I've created, it's only by this little step thing. And I do love colored tiles, the Santa Fe Moroccan look, you know, with stone. In nearly every corner you're going to see stone, because to me, you know, the gold of the dome is reflected on the gold of the floor. Another very distinctive feature of Nisha JamVwal site is the picture windows. I'm very much into bringing the outside to the inside. I have interesting seatings nearly everywhere, and they overlook the green, and you'll almost never see a curtain in a space that I've designed. I do blinds because they also, you know, they enhance that seamless feel of a home. I think creativity is about feeling one with the palette, whether it's about paint, whether it's about fabric, or whether it's about cement and stone. To me, it spills over literally in such a, you know, it's a compulsion, so much so that when I go to dinner at somebody's house, I have this urgent desire to rearrange their space.
So we're back here at Aditi's house. Aditi, nail-biting moments.
Completely. My husband's expected any moment. But yes, Alistair, I like the colors. I'm very happy how it's turned out. And though I like, you know, how impulsive the decision was, I'm glad I took it. And it's looking fabulous.
The doorbell.
Oh my God, let's see. Surprise!
Hello, a stranger in your house. Many strangers with cameras.
How do you like it?
He's
Please
wondering
say you like it. Please say you like it. If you don't, I'll change it. Back to white, what you want, right?
Hi, I'm Alistair.
That's
from
Alistair.
CNBC. And as you can see, we've given your walls a makeover.
Please tell me you like it.
Do you?
React!
He doesn't know what to
Not
say.
reacting. Kiara, tell him to like it.
This is...
This is?
Yes.
I've just walked in. I think it'll take some time to sink in because we had planned the whole coloring of the house and all for such... we deliberated over it for so much period of time, and now suddenly I walk in 3 days later into my house and I find the whole thing's changed.
Actually, it wasn't that easy because she took quite a while, right? to
I
decide?
did, yeah.
She wasn't quite sure.
So this was all planned.
It was all planned, especially in
4
Diwali's
days
here.
that you were away.
So pleasant surprise.
Yeah, pleasant. Yeah, I can say it's pleasant.
So while the couple here has a pleasant surprise with their home, do join us next week on First Impressions, where we'll have many more surprises and many more makeovers. For hassle-free painting of your house, call 1-800-220024 or SMS NEROLAC at 4646.